Hello and welcome to this short video on how to supercharge your integration with in-memory datagrids. In this short video, I will explain why we sometimes need to cache some information or share information across integration processes, explain what TIBCO provides with ActiveSpaces to solve those issues, and finish with a very simple demonstration to prove you the ease of use of ActiveSpaces when invoked from BusinessWorks. Let's get started. One of the key aspects of TIBCO's integration platform is its ability to share information in real time, either as events or even as services, depending on the way you consume it, but it allows you to expose your data to mobile application, to your partners, and to really feed your processes in real time. The challenge can be that some of the resources, some of the systems you need to extract this data from were not built to address this level of volumetry or this level of performance and be requested all the time. So they can either prove costly to scale, just costly because of their consumption model, or just unable to provide this quality of service. These are not services that will be reliable, which you can really base your, as an example, your customer experience. So this is why in-memory computing is really helping integration, and especially ActiveSpaces that we have created to be TIBCO's distributed data grid that allows you to leverage memory to store some of the information and share information. It's also a new kind of middleware. Not only can you insert and select data, you can also publish and subscribe data. So this is very useful to share data across processes. And the beauty of ActiveSpaces, in addition to its simplicity and ease of administration, is really the dynamic scalability. You need to ensure a level of performance in accessing and sharing your data. You can just add nodes transparently to ensure capacity and performance. So why is ActiveSpaces interesting? It's because it addresses a whole spectrum of data that goes from data that you need to cache because some of the systems that you extract the data from are too fragile or expensive to access all the time, down to your needs for having your integration processing, sharing information and variables in real time. And in the middle, you might have transient data or systems of record you need to maintain for your processing. ActiveSpaces covers all of those use cases and is particularly easy to integrate not only with our integration platform, but also your usual development environments. So let's take an example. You might have here your classical enterprise application, some of them mainframe, some of them very operational, so addressing maybe real time, but in a very specific way, and your enterprise application. Should you want to expose some of this data, like process information, to your customer via a mobile application, well, you don't exactly control the number of, or the success that your mobile application will have. So you may have to expose directly the services from those applications to your mobile application. This is where ActiveSpaces can help by caching some of the most frequent requests and just providing answers to them. So the other beauty of ActiveSpaces is that the data that we'll manage within ActiveSpaces is completely independent of the origin of the data. So you can really cache any type of resources because it's expensive of slow databases, application, mainframe services. It also allows you to ensure that the data that you expose will remain available. Whatever happens behind, whatever the source of data was, you are sure that you can have information from 1 millisecond ago up to several days ago. This is what also makes your processing and its decisions easier because you can compare like a code versus the order or look versus look. Let's take a little bit, let's go a little bit further and take a look at what ActiveSpaces provides to be directly leveraged from BusinessWorks. And you'll see that this plugin provides a very complete palette on how to publish information, subscribe information right from the integration processes. So not only can it help you speed up processing and caching expensive resources, it also allows engine communications or processes communication and very simple patterns such as duplicate message detection. But just to show you the ease of design and use of ActiveSpaces within BusinessWorks, let's take a look at a demonstration. In this demonstration, I will use this very simple process, so simple I will run it from Designer, to show you how easy it is to leverage ActiveSpaces right from BusinessWorks processes. In terms of resources, it's very simple. just have one resource that will act as a connection, just as I would have a connection to my database, to define all the parameters on how I connect to my metaspace, my space, which are ActiveSpaces specific objects. And then in my process, I can use object from the palettes to manage transactions, put, get data in this process. So let's run the process. Very easily, this process will use file poller. I will submit some IDs via a very simple file, such as this one. And this process will check whether this ID already exists in the cache. If not, it will go in a database. If it doesn't find it, it will go on error. If it finds it, it will just put it in the cache and give me the answer. The next time I will ask for the same ID, it will be extracted from the cache. So in one simple process, you can manage all the logic that will really prevent your expensive resources from being impacted by a huge volume of requests. So let's get started and use the debugger. So very easily, I'll start it. ActiveSpaces will automatically start. And I will just ask for ID 005. I save, and my file poller will work. So it goes into the cache, initiates ActiveSpaces, and then logically it doesn't find it. I haven't done anything with the cache yet. So now it goes into a database and will provide me with the response. The response is managed in this outputs text. It's found a user. This is my entry. He found the user 005. Now let's get back and maybe take a look at another user, which is 4. I save another instance of the process. Since it's my first process about ID 004, it doesn't find it. Let's look at, just to show you it does not always succeeds. I take this ID, so my file poller finds it, and it happens that it seems that ID 009 does not exist, so it's not in a database, so I went out in error. So if I take a look at my output text again, I found ID 004, but didn't find 009. That's logical. I managed this simple logic at this stage, but now it's interesting. Let's ask again about our ID 005. I'll just save. You see this time that the request went from the cache. I got data out of the cache. My input was 005. My output was this information that I extracted. Alex and age 30 went out, and this is exactly what I found out. I will find in the output. So in one simple process, I could very simply, with just two cache-related activities, I could define a logic that could be applied on any other transport that routes data to a request to the cache if the data is found, and if not, manages automatically to go and request the data. So now, with a huge volumetry, the number of requests that would go to the database would be much slower. The point of this demonstration was really to show you the ease of design and ease of use of ActiveSpaces right from your integration processes. If you want to know more, and if you want to use similar samples, download BusinessWorks, download ActiveSpaces. Only one place to go, tab.tibco.com. Thank you very much for attending this video.